Hi, friends. I want to talk about meal planning today. So, what does meal planning have to do with mindful eating? Well, it might seem like these two things are separate entities. You might feel like mindful eating is something that you can do without having a plan because you're really tapping into your intuitive nature when it comes to food. And that's part of the story. The other part of the story is that if you don't have the foods available that are going to serve you, then how do you know what you're going to need? So that's kind of the crux of it, is that you have to have the healthy food available so that you know how it shows up in your body, so that you can then use that awareness piece to feel better, to know what you're craving, to know what foods are going to serve you in the moment. That doesn't mean that you always have to have celery sticks and hummus, but if you have those things available, you're going to know what it feels like when you have the healthy food available, or when you have the nourishing food available, so that it streamlines the process. So you're not always kind of digging around in the dark trying to figure out what it is that you need. So to that end, there are 5 kind of aspects to meal planning that you have to get a hold on before you can really make it a habit, right? And once things are a habit, once you do them more often, they become so much easier to do. So those 5 steps are, first, to know why it is that you are meal planning in the first place. What is it that you want to gain? It could be anything from wanting to save time to having a health goal you're trying to reach. Maybe you're trying to reach a weight goal. Maybe you want to balance hormones. Whatever it is, if you don't know what it is that you're looking to do, you're not going to be inspired to keep on track with meal planning, and it becomes more of a chore that gets pushed off to the side. The second piece, the second step, is to know, so now that we know why, when are we going to do this? And let me give you this piece of advice. If meal planning and meal prep and getting food on the table or in the lunch bag takes more time than you feel like you have to give, it's not going to happen. So finding that perfect blend between what feels good as far as energy spent and what the outcome is. So it has to be worth it in order for you to stick with it, right? And that's just anything, any kind of program, whether it's an exercise program or, following a certain eating pattern. If it's not feeling like it's worth it, then you're not going to stick with it. So remember, why are you doing this? When are you going to do this? And then the third thing is, what are you going to eat? If you're staring down the barrel of roasted chicken, rice, and broccoli for the next 21 consecutive days, I guarantee you, A, you're not going to be motivated to do it. B, you're probably not going to reach your goals that way. And C, you're going to end up at drive-through anyway. So taking a look at what your goals are and then putting them into perspective in how you can work different kinds of recipes and food choices around reaching that goal. So having those foods available so that you can reach that goal. So we're most of the way there. Now we have our 4th step, which is going to the grocery store, which, let me tell you, is my least favorite chore. And I call it a chore because it can be my least favorite chore. There are ways that you can streamline this so that it's not so overwhelming. And then the 5th piece of what you need to do to get meal planning happening is setting up a time and getting in the kitchen and getting things done. Now, kind of like the planning, if you set aside way too much time for this, it's just never going to get done. So what are these little secret pockets of time that you can find where you can maybe prepare some proteins or get, a couple meals out of one time that you cook? So I'm going to walk you through exactly what that looks like in the 5-day mindful meal planning challenge. That's a mouthful. Walk you through exactly what that looks like and give you my best tips and tricks, because let me tell you, I am a lazy cook. And if it takes too much effort and too much time, it's simply not going to happen. So I have put together all of my favorite tips and tricks and hacks so that you don't have to flail around trying to figure it out. I'm going to give you the suggestions each day in an email, and then you can figure out what fits for you, what's going to serve you, what feels authentic to you. So go ahead and I will put the link down below for you to go ahead and enroll. It's a free challenge. It's 5 days. The lessons come to your email every single day. And I got a lot of bonuses for you. So a meal plan and some recipe ideas and all kinds of fun stuff. So go ahead and check that out so that you can use meal planning mindfully to get you where you want to go, whatever that goal is, hormone balance, just feeling good, feeling comfortable in your own skin, whatever that might be. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I can't wait to see you in the challenge.